When you say go after them, what do you mean?
Arrest them, imprison them for violating our Constitution.
How do you do that?
Police are probably with us.
I mean, the police will be on the side of
the patriots. They sure will. They haven't been corrupted yet, as far as I know.
I mean, that's an actual civil war that you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
You believe that the election was stolen in 2020?
Absolutely. It's playing on the nose of your face.
It's time to check in on Republican bloodthirst levels after a few months of embarrassing dysfunction in Congress over funding the government, an unprecedented speaker ousting, and another disappointing election. And after a quick scan, the king of the Republican Party is still telling voters his legal woes are something that they should protect him from, while also revealing his plan for more autocratic power.
They've weaponized the Justice Department. They've weaponized the FBI. And they've come at me with the worst indictments. If they want to follow through on this, yeah, it could certainly happen in reverse. It could certainly happen in reverse. What they've done is they've released the genie out of the box. They have done something that allows the next party. I mean, if I happen to be president and I see somebody who's doing well and beating me very badly, I say, go down and indict them. Mostly that would be, they would be out of business. They'd be out of the election. In my case, they were such pathetic indictments.
He knows he can repeat the same lie over and over again about a weaponization of the DOJ, so that if he gets his way, he can implement the same thing that he claims was already done to him. It's the kind of elementary tactic that dictatorial types can utilize, but only on followers that have been trained to crave the violence. And they've already proven to him that the training works.
Donald Trump were to be found guilty by a jury. Where do you see this going?
Civil war. Civil war. Divide it up, because we can't live together, obviously.
And if he wants me to protect them, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to let him know that I'll do it.
Ron, you genuinely believe that he's
coming back.
That he could come back as soon as...
Before the middle of August.
And what if that doesn't happen?
Huh?
What if that doesn't happen?
We're going to be in a civil war because the militia will be taking over.
We're just sick of it, and we're not going to take it anymore. I see a civil war coming. I do. I see civil war coming.
Although he's the loudest voice, Trump's propaganda needed some assistance, so conservative pundits have also stepped in to promote Trump's lies and complaints, along with lighthearted declarations of civil war.
We had a war over slavery. We knew slavery was inhumane and immoral, but somehow we couldn't solve slavery peacefully. It was an evil, but one side refused to acknowledge that it was evil because it was too big of an admission for them to make. Doesn't that feel that way now, that this defiant refusal to reverse this decline argues against the survival of a country? What does that leave you with? It leaves you with, you need to make war to bring peace, because you have a side that cannot change, because then that means an admission that their beliefs have been corrupt all the time. So in a way, you have to force them to surrender.
Gutfeld sounded like he almost figured out that conservatives were the American figures that refused to acknowledge the evils of slavery and decided to fight a war to avoid giving up their perceived right to systematically own, torture, and murder humans. He probably doesn't even want to cross former and current elected officials that have helped focus the MAGA army on political violence in the name of his lies. But while they talk tough, how many of these guys do you think you'll see in the streets fighting this MAGA militia war that they're talking about? Instead, it's random violence in the streets and in public establishments that'll be targeting innocent Americans that have been demonized by people like this.
I think those who are conducting this travesty and creating this two-tier system of justice, I want to ask them, what the heck? Do you want us to be in civil war? Because that's what's going to happen. We're not going to keep putting up with this. And Eric, I like that you suggested that we need to get angry. We do need to rise up and take our country back.
If the government continues to weaponize these departments against conservatives and the citizens that are the taxpayers, what's going to happen to this country? Someone's going to get so pissed off they're going to shoot someone. That's what's going to happen. Or we're going to have a civil war or some sort of revolution. That's where this is going.
We're going to face some dark times as a nation. That would be so immoral and wrong if we just said, hey, you know what? Let's just kick off a civil war, and then we'll just go ahead and go to that point. No, my friends, we were called to be innocent as doves, yes, but we were also called to be shrewd as snakes. And we as conservatives, it's time for us to get shrewd. It's time for us, in Genesis, it talks about taking dominion of the earth. You read that original word. I mean, it means go out and take control of it. Dominate the earth that you're given. Fill it. And my friends, the only way we're going to do that is if we stop playing this lackluster milquetoast defensive game